is not good enough for landing an airplane, for doing brain surgery, and the like. And so we do, and it is our responsibility as educators and as parents and as librarians and as teachers to help our students and our children make those distinctions, to know what good enough is. We can no longer say, well, if it's in the library, then it's good enough. That was a nice technique. It was a flawed technique, by the way, but it was a convenient technique. We are now in the position of having to carefully, from the very beginning, train and teach our students how to evaluate good enough for what. And that is not an obvious or easy technique. So is the lack of signal because of me, or can I do something, or can you do something? Yep, the power plug's connected. Okay. So imagine, if you will, where do you need me? I'm not sure what you're asking. I don't understand. So I'm going to keep talking, and we'll either have gorgeous slides. They were just, from here on in, incredibly beautiful. Unbelievable, hand painted by the world's great artists. I commissioned them to do these, and I'm sorry that you can't see them, but actually they're more of the same. So, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this computer's on. Yeah. Well, in some sense, the microphone is off. I see. Okay, now the microphone is on, and the computer is still off. Okay, so I'm going to unplug this. Okay. The computer is on, the lights are on, everything's on. Well, at this point, I think I'm just going to speak. Unless somebody would care to reboot my computer for me while I speak.
David, let me try it.
I thought you might.
Carry on, let me try it.
Okay, thank you.
Just take your time. Okay.
Carry on. Okay, I unplugged that, hoping that
Okay.
would reboot it.
Okay.
And I'm going to get on the other side.
You can see here.
Okay, so this is still on. I apologize. Who knows? It's a computer. At this point, somebody should yell, "Get a Mac!" Unfortunately, it is a Mac, though. So where was I? Linked. Okay, so the next topic has to do with the thing that you learn on the internet. Everybody who goes, is that it's incredibly messy. So I want to talk about messiness and metadata for a moment. And so one of the ways of thinking about this, and I know this is very familiar to you all, so I will be fast, is to think about there being three orders of organization, or three types or three levels of organization. And the first is very familiar. You organize the physical objects, as you do with books on a shelf, or photographs in an album. In which case you get one way of doing it, because that's how time and space work. You can only lay it out in one way. And you pick what is the best organization for doing it. In the second order, you physically separate from the objects the metadata, the information about the information, the metadata from the objects. And the standard example of this, which presumably just about everybody in this room is no longer doing, at least primarily, let me know, catalog cards. That's how we did it for a long, long time. There are places that are still using them. Library cards, catalog cards, they're profound technology in which we take the metadata, physically separate it from the objects, and crucially, we shrink the metadata down to what fits on a little card. And so we get tremendous benefit from doing this. We can sort now in 3 or 4 different ways. We can sort by author and by title and by subject. So that's a lot of power. But we only get that much information. We throw out all the rest of the metadata, and that seems to be a shame. In the third order, where everything is digital, the information, the content and the metadata are all digital. And so we can get much, much more metadata and have many more ways of sorting through it, not just the 3 that the organizers have decided for us, but any way that we want to sort through it. And there are obviously issues with doing that. So with that in mind, it's important to recognize that not only do we get more metadata, but the very nature of metadata itself has changed. Still going too fast? Okay. I sometimes tend to speed up. Okay. So it used to be, as back in the days of the mainframe computer and the database, where somebody would pick 10 different categories to record about an employee. That was a metadata sort of choice. It used to be that the metadata was separate from a different sort of thing than the content. So, but that's changing. So that now if you want to find a book, and if you happen to know, say, the author's name, I will use an American example, unfortunately, Herman Melville, who wrote Moby Dick, of course. If you were to type in Herman Melville, the search engine will bring back to you the title of the book that he wrote. The thing that you can't remember, what was that book? And it will bring back to you a picture of him and the content of the book, because it is out of copyright, so it's available for free on the internet. But that means that you could also have said, what was that book? I remember a line from a book. It was Call Me Ishmael. I think it was the first line, which is the first line of Moby Dick. You could put that into the search engine. And what will come back will be Herman Melville, the author's name, and the text of the book. And in fact, you will get back not just the text of the book and the author's name, you will get back everything. You'll get back, okay, well, this may not, yes, I'm sorry, we have a complicated encryption scheme here. I mean, seriously. You'll get back everything. You'll get back I cannot both type in a long password and speak at the same time, sorry. You'll get back the address to Herman Melville's house, the picture of it, the Google map of it. You'll get back his social network, the other authors that he hung out with, where they lived. You'll get back stories about their interaction, their diaries. You'll get back fan fiction about it. You'll get back information about whales, about their biology. You'll get back information about their ecology. You'll get back Al Gore. You'll get back everything. All from that one query, Call Me Ishmael. You will get back the entire hyperlinked world, which means there is now no difference between metadata and data. There used to be. The metadata was the stuff that you typed into as special metadata and you could search on. But now metadata simply is the thing that you know. And data is the thing that you're looking for. Plus, it's a new computer with a new, long, annoying password. Nope, that wasn't it. Apple is happy. Okay, so I may just continue because I'm going to have difficulty double tasking here, much less multitasking. Yes? Well, it just seems, who wants to? Could I ask you to, are you a math person? Okay. It's okay, it's idiosyncratic. Is my email up? Anything interesting coming in? Getting very, very close. No, it's fine. Okay, now I can't see anything. Okay. 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 And so if metadata is the thing that you know, the problem is that this is not here, making it difficult to do it this way. Open recent, it sure should be the top one, which I can't read, but we're going to say top one. Just that simple. Computers. What could ever go wrong? Okay, and the final thing that everybody who's ever been on the internet discovers about the internet that affects knowledge. This says cancel? Did I just cancel the load of? Okay, I'm going to try this one more time and then really give up. Nope, I'm in Finder. Keynote, File, Open Recent. Oh, don't look at the conclusion. And now try to find where we were. I don't want to surprise anybody here. Those are the ones you missed. We'll keep those gone. And we'll go to here. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, if metadata is what you know and data is what you're looking for, and there is no formal distinction, this is a wonderful, wonderful thing, because it means that everything now becomes metadata. We can use everything we know to find the next thing that we know. Metadata is like a crowbar, and everything has become a crowbar for pulling up new information and new knowledge. One of the consequences of this rise in importance of metadata is that it frees us, it liberates us, so that we can still have journals like Nature, highly peer-reviewed, very carefully edited down to just a few articles. And the metadata for Nature says that if you read Nature, you understand that it's been highly curated, carefully selected. But we can also have in this new ecology that arises something like Public Library of Science 1, which is free to read, and which is also peer-reviewed. And so when you read it, you know that what you're reading has been seen and checked by other scientists. When you read Nature, because so few articles make it in, you can be certain that what you're reading is considered to be important science. Public Library of Science is peer-reviewed, but will publish anything that is good science, even if it's on a tiny topic. So that's a different sort of metadata. And the fact that we know what the metadata is allows a site like archive.org to exist. Archive is a site that any academic can post to even before an article is done, before it's been accepted, before it's been reviewed. So it may be wrong, it may be full of errors or not worthwhile. But you know that because the metadata tells you that archive.org is simply what an academic posted. And as a result, even though there is lots there that is not worthwhile, there's plenty there that is. And so you may find the data that will let you cure cancer 2 years before it would have been published in Nature. And finally, the last thing that everybody on the net discovers, which is we don't agree about anything. And this is a surprise, because knowledge from the beginning, its beginning in Western culture, has always been about driving out differences and disagreements. It's not knowledge if we're still arguing about it. Only when we've all agreed, then we say, yeah, that's knowledge. This is because that's how paper works. You have to commit, and it's only this big, and you can't link out to things that disagree with you. The web, on the other hand, is a web of disagreement. It's all about disagreement. Everybody disagreeing about everything. Every link that you put in points to a page that is different than yours. And sometimes that page provides evidence for your point of view. Sometimes it's somebody with whom you disagree. Sometimes it's to, well, all the different ways that we can be different from one another. And so we are getting used to living in this web of difference. The web only has value because it contains so much difference. This is the opposite of knowledge, which has value insofar as it's right and true and has driven out difference. So we have a web of difference. And on this web, experts of the old sort and the new sort can come together and they can be smarter together. The problem is, if people who are exactly alike, who agree with one another on the topic, talk with one another, and that's all they ever do, then they will make themselves stupider. People who agree and get together drive out differences just as well as books did. These are called echo chambers in English, where people come together and all they ever hear are echoes of their own ideas. And this is a tremendous problem. I don't know, I'm not going to address it today because there is no simple way of addressing it. First of all, it seems to be a human tendency to want to be with people who agree with us. We like that. Second, so we naturally tend to do it. Second of all, we can only talk with people who agree with us 99.9% of in similarity. We have to be speaking the same language, for example. We have to have enough in common that we have something to talk about. And so we need a huge amount in common just to have a conversation. The tendency to want to only hear your own views over and over again seems to be a human problem that we desperately need to be aware of, to teach our children to engage with and to love difference, to be comfortable with difference, to seek difference out. There is no simple answer to this. One of the consequences of this is another change in knowledge. When you are on a web of difference, you have to be aware that some people are wrong, and maybe all people are wrong. So I want to talk very briefly about that, and then I'll be just about done. So, the great print Encyclopedia Britannica. When you look something up in it, you are correct to assume that what you read there is right, because you know it's gone through an editorial process. When you look something up in Wikipedia, simply because it is in Wikipedia does not mean that it's right, does not mean you should believe it. Because you may have hit it at the very moment that some idiot just completely trashed it. So simply being in Wikipedia does not give an article authority. But I use Wikipedia all the time. I consider it to be very, very credible, very believable and authoritative. And so the question is, where does Wikipedia get its authority? And I want to point to one little piece of it. There's many, many answers to this. Wikipedia is very happy to have you put in metadata saying this article is not good enough. The top of many articles, you can see here, there are warning labels, metadata about the article, warning you about the article. There are many, many of these that are available to you, to anybody who reads, because we can all edit an article, we can all put in these warnings. And there's well over 100 of them. Here are just a few. This article appears to contradict another article. It appears to contradict itself. It doesn't seem like it's worthy of being in the encyclopedia. It needs to cite sources, to give more sources. This is a very big push in Wikipedia for the past couple of years, to make sure that every statement has a footnote. It reads like an advertisement. It reads like a religious sermon. And this very important one for Wikipedia, which is the neutrality, is in question. This does not seem to be a neutral point of view. It seems to have its own point of view. It seems clear to me that when a user, a reader, sees any of these notices on a Wikipedia page saying that this page is not perfect, has problems, that these stickers, these warnings actually increase the credibility of Wikipedia. Wikipedia's willingness to tell us as readers, this page not perfect, it makes the page and makes Wikipedia more credible, more authoritative. Because we get the sense right away that Wikipedia is on our side. It's not trying to look like the world's greatest encyclopedia. It wants us to understand things. And so it's very comfortable acknowledging this most basic of facts about humans. We're fallible. We make mistakes all the time. We get everything wrong. The most basic distinction in our civilization is between a God who does not make mistakes and humans who make nothing but mistakes. And if your institution is not comfortable acknowledging that most basic of facts, then why should we believe anything you say? If you can't get that right, why would we believe you? So the question for me is not why does Wikipedia put these warnings in, it's why we will never see them here or in the Britannica. Why are our institutions so afraid to acknowledge that they are the products of human hands that shake and fail? It seems to me more and more as we move together into the future that authorities who talk in the authoritative tone of voice, we are the New York Times, we are the Encyclopedia Britannica, and you ought to obey us, will lose credibility. They will sound like, and I apologize to the translators, they will sound like jerks or worse. So, my conclusions. First of all, the internet actually is it is a big deal. It is exceptional. It is changing the most basic ideas we have of, for example, knowledge. That knowledge is now a property of a network. If we as a culture want to be smart, knowledgeable, wise, what we need to do is to build a network that is smart, knowledgeable, and wise, which includes, of course, recognizing its own fallibility and the fact that we are never going to come to agreement. We're building networks now. I'm sorry to say this to librarians, but where once we built libraries as our house of knowledge, we are now building networks as our house of knowledge. Is this good? Well, there are many good things about it, of course, and you're all familiar with them, but there are also echo chambers. People who only want to hear that which agrees with them. There are lies and other forms of untruths. There is the problem with living in a good enough environment where we have to be very careful about good enough for what. That's a difficult skill. All of these things are very important, real issues that we need to keep facing. But on the other hand, knowledge has become more human, less like something that is delivered from a set of superhumans to the rest of us. It is becoming what we do together on a network that includes the wisest of us and the most foolish of us. The weaknesses that we see in knowledge, and there are many, are now fully our weaknesses, our desire not to be challenged, our desire to stay with people who are like us, our desire to believe lies that make us feel good, our desire to be lazy and to take what is good enough when it's not really good enough. These weaknesses are now our weaknesses, not the weaknesses of the medium. And in this world, we can leave nothing back. We need everything. If networks now are where knowledge lives, we need everything on the network. We need everything that libraries know, for example. Libraries not only have a tremendous amount of content, and we are all wondering how it's going to get digitized and put on in a way that everybody can share in it. a new type of copyright that allows everybody to share while compensating authors fairly. We all have a great interest in that. But libraries know much more than just what their content is. Libraries know what librarians know. They know libraries are at the center of research communities. They are where research communities live. It's where research communities develop knowledge. Even the transactions within a library, which books are being checked out by which type of person, what are the comments that are being left in a digital world, what are the ratings, how are they being shared, which books are being used in courses and which are not, what are the trends for those books. All of that metadata, that's what libraries know too. And we need all of it, not just the content, not just the metadata, but what the people of libraries know. We need all of that on our network, or the network will not be what it can be for knowledge. Thank you very much.
Boa tarde a todos. Sou Rosa Maria Beretta, eu também sou bibliotecária. Estou aqui representando o Grupo GEM, que é um grupo de editoras nacional, composta pelos selos Guanabara-Coogan, LTC, Forense Universitária, Método, e nós estamos aqui com o stand também, que o Grupo GEM esse ano implantou um setor de vendas institucionais, né? É do entendimento do grupo que existia essa necessidade de um setor especializado para vendas diretas para as instituições, para as nossas bibliotecas, né? E por isso que eu estou representando como bibliotecária, tenho dado toda essa assessoria para eles. Me desculpem. E, na verdade, qual que é a proposta? É fazer o atendimento especializado, volto a falar, com vendas diretas, para as universidades públicas também. Nós ainda não temos no setor o atendimento para participação de licitações, né? Para fazer todo aquele acompanhamento junto aos órgãos públicos. Porém, nós já temos uma pessoa especializada nessa área e a gente sabe, inclusive, da realidade que é diferente em cada universidade pública. Existem algumas universidades que têm um setor que coordena todas as licitações, as bibliotecas, às vezes, têm algumas verbas direta, né, focada em algum projeto, e nós podemos dar toda essa assessoria. No caso das grandes licitações, nós também indicamos, orientamos os fornecedores que possam entrar nessas licitações, né? É nosso conhecimento e entendimento também que, às vezes, tem algum fornecedor que ganha a licitação, eu acho que quem atua na parte de aquisição de biblioteca, às vezes, se depara com essa dificuldade. Ele ganha a licitação e, na hora de fornecer, fornece a edição antiga ou acaba não fornecendo. Nós temos condições de dar essa assessoria para vocês, de orientação, justamente, dos fornecedores, da gente indicar quem pode participar ou até atestar a seriedade daqueles parceiros, tá? No caso das bibliotecas particulares, a venda é direta, porque aí não tem essa parte burocrática. E também a gente dá uma orientação para vocês, que a gente percebeu, inclusive, esses já 3 dias aqui, que muitas bibliotecárias das instituições de ensino público desconhecem um pouquinho a legislação que dispensa a licitação, porque nós somos os editores, nós somos os produtores daquelas obras, né? E isso nós estamos promovendo nesse momento também, numa outra sala, uma mesa redonda, para poder esclarecer que é dentro da lei, é uma lei específica, diferente daquela do limite de 8 mil, dos 8 mil reais que dispensa a licitação, tá? Eu convido a vocês, quem não passou ainda pelo nosso stand, nos visitar e nós vamos poder ter uma conversa mais próxima e poder atender. O que a gente quer ouvir a necessidade de vocês, tá? Para o ano que vem, a gente já está preparando os e-books também, que é que todo mundo está aguardando. A nossa editora tem mais do que 2.500 títulos, cobrindo todas as áreas do conhecimento. Eu acho que vai ser uma grande parceria, tá? Para finalizar, no final daqui do simpósio, nós vamos estar servindo um coquetel para vocês aqui no espaço também. Então, a gente volta mais tarde, tá? Gente, muito obrigada, viu?
Professor de cursos de extensão em Direito do Entretenimento na UERJ. Tem atuação profissional e acadêmica nas áreas de direito autoral, em especial audiovisual, propriedade intelectual e direito civil. É consultor em direitos autorais da Unesco, membro da Comissão de Direitos Autorais da OAB-RJ e professor da Organização Mundial de Propriedade Intelectual. Ele irá falar sobre a relação entre a propriedade intelectual, os direitos autorais e as bibliotecas. O professor Dr. Luiz Bevilacqua possui graduação em Engenharia Civil pela Universidade Federal do Rio de Janeiro, UFRJ, especialização em pontes e grandes estruturas em Stuttgart e doutorado em Mecânica Teórica e Aplicada na Stanford University. É professor emérito da COP UFRJ. Foi um dos seus criadores, foi vice-reitor acadêmico da PUC, diretor da COP, coordenador do Comitê de Estruturação Acadêmica e Implantação da Universidade Federal do ABC, em Santo André, foi reitor da Universidade Federal do ABC e responsável pela implantação do Núcleo de Cognição na Universidade Federal do ABC. Atualmente, coordena junto à Pró-Reitoria de Pesquisa e Pós-Graduação da UFRJ a implantação do Espaço Alexandria, destinado a estimular a integração interdisciplinar em projetos destinados a fazer avançar as fronteiras do conhecimento científico, quebras de paradigmas. Na administração pública, ele foi secretário executivo do Ministério de Ciência e Tecnologia, diretor das unidades de pesquisa do CNPq, diretor científico da FAPERJ, presidente da Agência Espacial Brasileira e participou do Comitê de Implantação da Associação Brasileira de Ciências Mecânicas. Ele irá falar sobre universidade multidisciplinar. Com a palavra, Márcia Valério.
O ensino superior no Brasil está passando por um período de importantes transformações. A expansão da rede federal, a interiorização, a transformação da rede de Cefetes, assim como a reestruturação das universidades, são pontos que nós não podemos deixar de considerar. Tudo isso se reflete nas bibliotecas universitárias. Primeiro, pela criação de novas unidades de bibliotecas, né, e o consequente aumento do campo de trabalho para o bibliotecário. A segunda possibilidade é de reposicionar as bibliotecas universitárias dentro das estruturas existentes das universidades, que nem todas ocupam o mesmo destaque que nós desejamos aqui na CBBU, que a Biblioteca Universitária ocupe, né? Que caminhos são esses, né, para a universidade brasileira? Essa é a nossa questão. Pelo que se viu até agora aqui no nosso seminário, o que era uma tendência até pouco tempo atrás se apresenta como um dado concreto. Bibliotecas sem muros, centradas em serviços 24 horas, 7 dias por semana. Isso nos leva a enfrentar questões bem concretas, né? Terceirização de atividades meios, gestão de pessoas orientada para a melhoria da prestação de serviço, criação e manutenção de repositórios institucionais, direitos autorais e serviços de acesso à informação. Onde estamos? Aonde vamos? A CBBU convidou esses dois profissionais que atuam no ensino superior e que irão nos brindar com suas experiências e reflexões sobre os direitos autorais e os caminhos que estamos passando nas universidades brasileiras. Está previsto uma palestra de 30 minutos para cada palestrante e as perguntas serão feitas ao final. Eu convido agora a doutora Alain para brindar com suas palavras.
Obrigado. Boa tarde. Em primeiro lugar, eu peço desculpa pela voz, mas não é algo que eu posso fazer nada nesse momento, então eu vou tentar falar o máximo que eu consigo e tentar ser pausado para concluir a palestra. Bom, eu vou tratar de direitos autorais e, obviamente, especificamente direcionado às bibliotecas. E hoje eu vejo que os direitos autorais atuais, como eles estão, eles são o maior empecilho, o maior obstáculo à própria renovação da atividade de bibliotecas, e não só isso, mas também ao acesso ao próprio conhecimento. Só que tem uma certa historinha como nós chegamos até esse momento e para onde nós vamos daqui. Nos anos, então eu vou tentar ser breve nisso, porque tem um ponto muito específico, que é um projeto de revisão da Lei de Direitos Autorais, que muito interessa a vocês, e eu creio que esse seja um ponto ainda mais importante do que a sua própria história. Os direitos autorais, eles foram concebidos no mundo moderno a partir da ideia de que eles servem como um incentivo à produção de novas obras. Essa foi sua justificativa. Essa justificativa foi desenvolvida nos séculos XVIII, XVII e XVIII. Desde então, desde a Revolução Francesa, os direitos autorais têm a mesma feição. Então, a mesma feição, embora não o mesmo conteúdo. Mais recentemente, desde os anos 70, existem alguns tratados internacionais que cuidam da matéria. Então, todas as legislações nacionais devem estar adequadas a esses tratados. E esses tratados estipulam um mínimo de proteção que deve ser dada a todas as obras protegidas por direitos autorais. Pois bem, nos anos 70, houve uma revisão da principal convenção, que é a Convenção de Berna, que vocês já devem ter ouvido falar. Durante esse processo de revisão da Convenção de Berna, que acabou influindo em todos os países que são membros, são muitos os países que são membros de Berna hoje, houve um aumento dos padrões mínimos de proteção dos direitos autorais. Então, a gente pode traçar esse momento que nós vivemos hoje muito diretamente a essa revisão da legislação, do Tratado Internacional. É interessante notar que, em 67, quando isso foi acordado entre os vários países, havia um grande espaço de usos livres. Ainda havia uma grande possibilidade de utilização de obras protegidas, desde que elas não afetassem a exploração normal da obra. Então, havia um grande espaço para isso. Só que os países desenvolvidos que negociaram não ratificaram a convenção e obrigaram a uma revisão desta própria revisão 4 anos depois, em que muitos desses espaços livres simplesmente sumiram. Então, houve uma negociação, houve uma convenção, um tratado relativamente equilibrado entre os interesses do autor, das empresas e do público em geral, da sociedade, mas que esse acordo não foi ratificado. Depois, esse acordo foi substituído por um outro muito mais restrito. Então, a gente pode traçar deste momento um momento de inflexão nos direitos autorais, quando há a expansão da sua proteção jurídica, ou seja, ampliou-se o escopo da proteção. E, ao ampliar-se o escopo da proteção, diminuiu-se o espaço de usos livres, que é sobre isso que nós temos um grande interesse nele, principalmente na universidade e nas bibliotecas. Pois bem, nos anos 90 nós tivemos uma outra rodada que foi a que constituiu a Organização Mundial do Comércio, e o Acordo TRIPS é um dos anexos. Então, o Acordo TRIPS e a Convenção de Berna são hoje os dois principais instrumentos internacionais que pautam isso. O Acordo TRIPS, na verdade, trouxe os direitos autorais para o comércio internacional,